Hi everyone, this is Carla. Thanks for stopping by and welcome to my channel. Well, I tell you, I have been watching some videos and I have come across the latest and greatest as far as I'm concerned. And many of you watching have probably seen these, but it's the Pokey tool. Is that not the cutest thing you've ever seen? And I use a Pokey tool when I'm doing a lot of different things. So this is my Pokey tool that I usually use. It's from Tim Holtz and I've had that for a few years. But I mean, here's one that I made. And now let's just take a look. If you were going to be crafting and you had a choice, this. Right, this is much cuter, right? We as crafters, we like that cute stuff. So I am going to show you some of the materials that I used to make this. I want to give a shout out to Heart to Hand Creations and Happy Mail Queen. Those are a couple of videos that I watched that I got ideas from. And that's kind of what I use to base my little Pokey tool on, how I put it together. What I did was I went to a grocery store. Heart to Hand Creations said she had found these skewers at her grocery store and that she used those to make her Pokey tool. Well, lo and behold, I went to my grocery store and back by the meat department, they had this display of lots of things to use for barbecuing in the summertime. And they had racks of these little skewers, turkey lacers is what they're called. And in my store, they were $1.99 each. So I picked up several packages of these. There's 8 in a package. And what they look like when you take them apart is, let's see, make sure I got the right one here, is this. Well, these I have already tried to connect this more because when I bought these were not totally connected, so I just used a pair of regular pliers to push that in so it's kind of closed up there in case you put any kind of dangles or embellishments on there, it won't fall through. And if you look at this package again, I don't know if you can see, they're kind of far apart. You can see this one kind of up there. So I wanted to try to close those before I wanted to make any of those. And so then the other suggestion, I can't remember if it was Happy Mail Queen or Heart to Hand Creations, but one of them mentioned that at Hobby Lobby, you can buy these, they're called stainless steel scribe pens, and there's 2 in a package, and they are $2.99 for 2 of them. However, when I was at Hobby Lobby today, they were 50% off, so that made them $1.50 for 2. So I picked up, I guess, 3 or 4 packages of those, and this is what they look like. And they're already closed, and they're longer. You can see that they are longer. You can see that probably an inch, a good inch longer there on the end. So I picked up some of those so I could have both sizes. Now, another thing I did notice that on the skewer, it's a little bit thinner. It's not quite as wide as the one from Hobby Lobby, which I'm finding I like the best because some of my beads won't fit on this larger one. So I didn't have any trouble with most of my beads going on the skewer, but I was finding that some of my beads won't go on this little steel pin here. So that's something you might keep in mind when you're trying to decide, or maybe you have all beads that have larger holes in them. But anyway, for today, I'm going to, since I've made several of these shorter ones, I'm going to use the Hobby Lobby steel pen to make one. What you're going to need is some E6000 and some beads, which I've got those already picked out. you're going to need like a eye pin, and I'm using a longer one, little eye pin, so you can make a little dangle if you want to, and some beads for that. And I'm also using a little bit of chain from Hildy Joe. I got this at Joann's. I think that's about it. You will need, would help to have maybe some needle nose pliers. These are little jewelry pliers. It has a cutter, but I also picked up this little neat little tool that's called the One Step Looper. Now I got mine at Hobby Lobby and it was $24.99. And when I went over to Michael's, I saw it and it was $34.99. And then when I went to, where else did I go? Oh, it was at Joann's, and theirs was $39.99. So I'm like, whoa. So Hobby Lobby would definitely be your best bet if you wanted to pick up the One Step Looper. And this is the neatest little thing. I am not a jewelry maker. All this is pretty new to me. I've dabbled with it a little bit on making, dangles or tassels or something like that. But as far as getting into these little eye rings and jump rings and tools, I may be calling them the wrong name. So if I am, I'm sorry, but I'm just not that well versed in jewelry making terms. So anyway, I'm going to take my E6000 and I'm going to take my pin from Hobby Lobby. I'm going to put just a little down here at the end, squeeze just a little bit out right there. You don't really want it to try and glob, but I really haven't had much trouble with that. And then I'm going to take a little spacer first. I'm going to take this little gold spacer and I'm going to drop it down, and that'll kind of give me a base. Now this isn't very thick, so I'm not going to really have to worry a whole lot about sliding it back and forth, but you do want to make sure that you have glue on that. And in fact, I may add just a little more because I don't feel like I really got much on there. I had to wipe that off a little. There we go. Pull that down. I'm going to pull that all the way to the end. And this is a tip I picked up from, I think it was Heart to Handcrafters. You can take, if you have too much glue, you just take a little card and kind of wipe that off, and it won't look real globby there. So I'm going to put that there. Next thing I want to do, I'm going to take this pretty pink bead, and it's got a larger hole, so that will fit just fine. But I want to add some more glue on here. Put that on there so I can kind of drop this on. Drop that down. And I'm going to add a little more glue under that and kind of run that bead back and forth a little bit and turn it around so I can try to get some of that glue, make sure it's on the inside to hold that pretty well. Then the next I'm going to take, this is kind of a gold, kind of faceted little bead, and I'm going to take this, do the same thing, add some glue. That's a longer bead, so I'm going to add kind of long, but you do kind of have to watch or it does want to glob up. That hole is not real large, so it's probably going to glob up on me a little bit. So I'm going to hold it down here and I'm going to try to go back and forth with that. Kind of turn that around. That looks pretty good. Take my little card. I can see a little extra in there. Might take that off. Little chunks. Okay, so now we've got that. I'm going to take some more glue. Add that over here. And next I'm going to add this pink faceted bead. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to try to turn it as I go, try to moosh some of that glue up in there the best I can. Then take my card, clean that off. And now I've got it looking like this. I'm going to try to keep this flat with the flat of the top. I mean, I don't know how important that is. It's just kind of what I'm going to try to do. Okay. And then for the next one, I'm going to add more glue here. And then I'm going to take this clear faceted bead. I'm going to slide it on. It's got a large hole, which I like that. And then you can kind of move it around as you're going on to get that glue on there, and then just kind of press it in. And next I have another pink bead. And that's got a pretty good size hole. So we're gonna, you can see that there. That's gonna fit on there nicely. Take that, kind of run it back and forth. Let's move that around. And that looks good. I don't think I have to worry about cleaning that one off. It looks pretty good. I just want to make sure I want this to be flat with this. Then the next I'm going to put is a pearl, little pearl. And it's got a pretty nice hole on it too. You can see that. I'm just going to take that, slide it on back and forth, twist it around. There we go. And last, I'm going to add one more. Now, I've seen some where they've taken the beads almost totally to the tip, and they really look pretty. But for me, I don't think I want it down. I like to have a little more working. Now, this is really, I think, shorter than I made on my skewer ones, but I think I'm going to leave it like that. And I'm going to take my card, I think, on this one. See if we've got a little bit of extra in here. You know what? I've got the wrong bead. Sorry. I've got some beads left. I thought that doesn't look like the other one that I've got on here. So I'm going to take this one. I want this one on there. Okay, let's take this one. There. I thought that doesn't look as clear as the one I have on the top. There. There we go. All right, so we're going to need that to dry just a little bit. And while that's drying just a little bit, and I would say with E6000, it's better if you can let it just dry overnight. You will know it is definitely set. So anyway, that's what I've got with that so far. I think that's pretty, and it's probably about an inch on the bottom, maybe not quite an inch. But we're going to stick with that, and I'm going to lay that over here so that can kind of be drying. And we're going to work on the dangle. Now, for the dangle, I'm not going to be using any glue for that. So I'm going to put the lid back on my glue. Let's set that aside. I'm using a long eye pin. And what I'm going to do with this, get these back over here, I think. There we go. I'm going to take, I'm trying to think what I had first. I think at first I had this little pink one. So I'm going to slip that on. You can see here, there's that one. And this is the eye pin. So I'm just going to that in there, that come down. For the next one, I'm going to use a pearl. It's a little pearl. Go in here. So we've got that so far. And next, I've got this long kind of pink glass bead. Now this hole is small enough. I've got all that E6000 on my fingers. I don't know if you can see that well enough, but I don't know if you can see it at all, actually. That hole would not fit on a the pin that I got from Hobby Lobby. So the skewers are nice for that. And the last one I'm going to put on is this little faceted clear one. I think that's all I'm going to put on there. Yeah, I like that. So what I'm going to do then with that, I'm going to take my one-step looper. You can see there's a little hole right in there. You just take this eye pin, kind of thread it through here. You go through that hole, and you bring this all the way over. You can see what we're doing here. Get it in my hand better. Okay, I want that to be pretty tight. And then all you do is you just push the handle together, and it cuts your eye pin. And then you've got your little, get it off there. You've got your little loop. And let's see, got that loop in there? There we go. And look at that. It's perfect. And then you don't have to try to twist and twist, try to get that to be right. So I love that. Love it, love it, love it. Now what I'm going to do is take a jump ring. I'm going to need a couple of jump rings. And then this chain that I've used from Joann's. This is 72 inches of chain. And I don't know, it says 182.8 centimeters, but I don't know if that's length or tells you the chain width itself. I think that's the length. It looks like this. And I just take off, I'm taking off 4 links, because by the time you get your jump ring on there with this, it's going to add that much length to it as well. So let's take our needle nose pliers and see if we can just pull that apart. I'm going to hook that onto my chain, a little piece of chain. There we go. And I'm going to hook that onto the top of my Pokey tool. Just going to take that and just bend that together. And I always like to come in here and give it one of these too. Okay, so we've got that on. And then we'll have to push this back up because this isn't dry. I shouldn't be messing with it yet, but I want to show you how to do it. And so next we're going to take the other jump ring right here. I'm going to pull it apart. And I'm going to put it on the already sealed end just so I know it won't slip through. And then we're just going to add this to the other part of the chain, just like so. Take that and just smash it together. And like I said, I like to give it one of these too. There we go. And there, and I'm looking at this, you could even add a little more onto that if you wanted. You could add a little charm. Let's see. I thought I had some little charms over here. I've got, I think I'm going to add this little kitty cat. I love little kitty cats. I think I'm going to add this little charm on there. Let me get another jump ring. Yeah, let's see. I'm going to take another jump ring. Let's take it apart. Put it on my kitty cat. I could add more chain. I'm going to see how it looks without it. And I'm just going to take this and attach. Okay, I don't want it to be backwards. And just bring that together. And a good smush there. Yeah, I like that. Now this, like I said, I'm going to need to push this back up and let this sit still so it can dry. I think it's still wet enough. I can reposition this a little bit. There we go. But isn't that cute? I mean, what a cute pokey tool. Look at that. There's the top. There's the bottom. And then for the end, what I've seen other ladies doing is just take one of these earring backs. They come in different little ways. Some have the metal on them. These are just the little rubber tips. And just put a little rubber tip on the end of this because these are sharp. And there you've got your pokey tool. Now I'm going to set this aside and I'm going to show you my other pokey tools that I've made. This is so much fun and it goes so fast. Okay, this is the one I first showed you. It's kind of the purple and the green. Let's move this down a little bit so you can see it. There's kind of the purple and the green. Let's just put these over here. Here is kind of lavender and silver. That's pretty. See, I left, let me measure. Most of mine are at least an inch because what I use these for, I use them like, okay, the other day I was putting in plastic snaps. Well, you need your pokey tool to punch a hole in so you can put the prong on the snap in there. I use my pokey tool sometimes when I'm sewing. If I need to push the fabric up in there, you could use your pokey tool for that. I use my pokey tool sometimes when I'm trying to pick up things, you know, like, I don't know, little embellishments and things that I can't get my fingers on. Sometimes a pokey tool, you can use it for that. And here again is a lavender and white. There's a pretty one. There's my little charm. And I also use a pokey tool like if I have double-sided tape and I'm trying to get the backing off, I can use my little pokey tool to go in and do that. Here's a simple one, just some stars and some of these little bubblegum beads. Here's one. a red and gold. There's that little charm on that one. And here's another pink one. Oops, getting tangled up there. There's another little pink one. On this charm, I had a little rose that I added to that, little faceted beads. Here's another kind of mint green and white, the polka dots. Then here's one with little stars and bows, a little heart at the top with a little butterfly charm on the little dangle on the side. And here's one. This is cute. I like this one with the little ladybugs and the black. I didn't have any black round beads at the time, so I had these little dice, and I thought, oh, those would be cute. So I just put a little ladybug with the dice on there, and then this is the little tassel I added. And the last one, this is cute. I like this one. I wanted to find a bone charm, but I just couldn't find one. But if I find one, I might add it to it. It's a little paw print. It's got the black and the faceted and a little heart at the top, kind of clear acrylic heart up there. It's faceted. And then this little beaded dangle on the side. So anyway, that's my fun little project that, like I said, to me, it's the latest and the greatest, and I think you would enjoy making these. It's a lot of fun, and like I said, I can think of a lot of uses for these, and I just think they're adorable. And again, all you have to do is ask yourself, okay, this, ladies, or this? Okay. Well, thanks for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope you try this. It'll be a lot of fun for you. So, until next time, bye-bye.